Welcome back, folks. Season 2 of Major Media Podcast is here, and I'm excited for you all to listen. Just a few things for you to keep in mind as you join me on this season's ride. First, Tristan is officially in his second semester of his freshman year, so the year is 2007, not 2006. And secondly, if you like what you hear, I need your help. While I love creating content you enjoy, as I continue to improve upon my craft and develop new and exciting projects, I'd appreciate your continued support in the form of likes, shares, reviews, subscriptions, and donations. So make sure you help out. All right, enough small talk. Enjoy the episode. So, did you talk to CJ today?
Yeah, he sounds pretty good. He said his aunt was taking him and his cousin shopping.
That sounds good.
And I'm glad Dad was able to help CJ get away from his asshole of a father.
I'm honestly glad Dad was able to come through too. When I called him that night, I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
True. Selfishly though, I just wish CJ's aunt didn't live 4 hours away in New York.
I can understand that, but at least CJ's somewhere safe. I heard his dad wasn't allowed out on bail.
And thank God for that.
Amen. And make sure you tell him I'm sorry again though.
Bro, you gotta let that go. You didn't know what was going on and CJ isn't even mad with you.
He's right. I didn't know what was going on, but I just feel like an ass for judging him like I did. Here I was thinking he may have been suspect, even abusive to my brother, and I was so incredibly wrong. CJ was just hiding who he was out of a real fear of what his dad might do if he found out about him. I hear you, Jordan, and I'll try to let it go.
Good. Now, on another note, how's Kendrick?
Still haven't heard from him. A whole week and not one word.
Man, that's tough. And Denise?
She's still icing me out for the most part, but she did send me a text asking for my notes for this test. That's something.
I mean, it's better than nothing. And what about that Ben guy?
I don't know if I should be sad I've been reduced to talking about my problems with my little brother or be thankful he's willing to listen. So I did send him a text. I just wanted to make sure he was okay. Also wanted to make sure he knew I wasn't part of that whole outing him thing. But all he said was he was cool and he knows. Haven't really seen him walking around campus either. He's been kind of MIA.
Big bro, is this what I got to look forward to when I get to college?
Who knows, but I hope not.
Okay, guys, we're all set go.
Fine by me. I need the distraction.
I figured you both could. Tristan, I think you'll like meeting your Uncle Hamp.
Oh, really? What's he like?
George Jefferson, Archie Bunker, Family Guy character.
Say what now?
What your brother means is, your uncle can be a little interesting. He has a huge heart and always means well. Just sometimes, his choice of words may catch you off guard. But I'm sure you'll like him.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, you drive to Petersburg every so often to check up on him?
Yes. Since my dad died and Hamp is his only living sibling, I make it a point to check in on him every now and then. Especially since Hamp's wife passed and they didn't have kids.
Wow, that's nice of you. I didn't think the good professor had this sweet side to him.
And because you boys need to clear your mind a bit, and Hamp needs a little help throwing stuff out in the basement, I decided this would be a great chance for a guys trip.
And a great chance for some free labor.
There may be a little truth to that statement. I just have one request when we get there. You two turn your phone off for a bit. It will help you put your problems on pause.
I may be down for that.
I know I am. No one's talking to me anyway.
Then there we have it.
Hey, nephew. Get your black ass in here. I'm glad to see you.
Hey, Hamp. How are you?
Boy, I'm still breathing, so I can't hardly complain. And hey, little bit.
No, Unc, you don't have to keep calling me that. I'm older now. And taller.
Of course you are. And you must be the firstborn. With those ears and those eyebrows, you're definitely one of ours.
Thank you, I think. I'm Tristan. Nice to meet you.
A handshake? I'm a hug you. Shame I'm meeting you for the first time now. If your dad had a bigger pair back then, he would have stood up to that ball-busting dragon lady.
Uncle Hamp, that's my mom you're talking about.
Oh, relax. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding.
Okay, my first time meeting my dad's extended family, and we're off to a great start. I like this Hamp.
Hamp, how about we head in and get to work?
Now, which one of you is the gay?
Say what now? The gay?
Actually, we're both gay.
Both of you? Shit, nephew. Both your sons sweet. Well, I guess the family name is done. You better hope your twins ain't scissoring, or you won't have any grandkids either.
Damn, I feel attacked.
Hamp, come on now. Try not to be offensive.
Offensive? I don't care nothing about them boys being gay. Hell, look at that wall behind you. Right there is a pic of me and Bayard Rustin at my cousin's 60th. That man had great stories about Dr. King. And if you look in the corner there, there's a pic of me and your Aunt Diana with the Luther Vandross.
Oh my gosh, Luther? I freaking love Luther Vandross.
Don't we all? Point is, I've never had a problem with the gay community. I may not understand them, but who the hell said I had to? They're people just like me. And word on the street, it was you, nephew, who was offensive. Really, you and David should be ashamed.
Oh snap. Funny how you never knew you needed an Uncle Hamp until you meet an Uncle Hamp.
No need to rehash that. We're trying to move on.
Just saying. Are we gonna talk or clean up?
Yes, let's. Where should we start?
Well, I forgot to get some more trash bags, so you and Jordan can run around the corner and get some. Tristan and I will start sorting some stuff in the basement.
I like him and all, but he's still a stranger. I don't know about this.
Hamp, are you sure?
Judging by the stern look on his face, I'd say he's very sure.
All right then. Come on, Jordan. Let's go get those bags.
Now tell me about you. The real you. I missed a lot.
Okay, let's see.
So, Tristan, did you enjoy yourself?
I actually did. Uncle Hamp may not have the best filter, but he's a great uncle. Thanks for the introduction.
It was long overdue.
By the way, what did you two talk about when me and Dad left?
Well, we talked about me at first. Then he kind of played family historian and was telling me about all things Garrison.
Really? What did you learn?
So one thing I learned was that his favorite aunt was Aunt Bernie. He said she made some of the best cornbread pancakes. He also said apparently she liked women. I mean, liked women.
Whoa, wait. She was a lesbian?
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, hold on. Aunt Bernie had a husband, Uncle Joseph.
Well, according to Uncle Hamp, she liked to play with the ladies, and Uncle Joseph on occasion would play with guys. They had some kind of arrangement.
Oh my gosh. Why am I just now hearing about this?
I second that.
Not sure why my great uncle decided I was the one he would share this family secret with, but makes me feel accepted that he chose me. Oddly enough, Uncle Hamp made me feel for the first time that I'm actually a Garrison too. Can't explain why he told me and not you two, but hey, he said it.
This is amazing.
Ain't it?
Well, I have a question. Did you two enjoy not being on the phone all day?
Funny enough, I did. I wasn't thinking about that phone. And wasn't really thinking about my problems either.
Yeah, me neither.
Good.
Although, now that you mention it, maybe it's a good idea to turn my phone back on.
We are headed home. So you kept your end of the bargain.
Alright, let's see who was blowing me up today. 2 voicemails from Denise, 4 text messages from Denise, 2 voicemails from Kendrick. Did they suddenly forgive me in a day? Let's read the text messages first. Tristan, call me when you get a chance. Where are you? Hello? Boy, I know you got my texts and voicemails. What the hell is going on with Denise? Now I'm afraid to even listen to my voicemails. But mine as well.
Tristan, I can't believe what happened. Call me back.
What can't you believe? Hopefully she said something in the second message.
Hey, where are you? Are you okay?
If vague was a person, maybe Kendrick said something more.
Yo, I know we're not talking right now, but I just want to make sure you're all right. Call me. You haven't gotten back to me, so I don't know if you saw Facebook, or are you too upset, or you haven't heard. Dude, just call me.
This is getting so annoying, but at least I have a clue. What the hell is going on Facebook? I hope I wasn't identified as Ben's kissing partner. Okay, Facebook. What? Oh my... R.I.P. Ben. What? Shit, let me call Denise.
Hey, where have you been? I've been trying to call you.
I've been with my dad in Jordan. Now, what's this I saw on Facebook about Ben? People are saying rest in peace.
Yeah, Tristan. Ben took his life this morning. His roommate found him in his room. He overdosed on pills.
What is she saying to me right now? He did what? Why would he do that? How could he do that? Suicide? I just can't believe it.
Hello? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did he leave a note?
I don't know about any note, but Tristan, I heard things got pretty bad for him. Most of his frat brothers stopped rocking with him. He wasn't really getting out of his apartment like that. And Jasmine from BSAS told me his family heard about the Blab report.
I can't even process this. Let me call you when I get back to campus.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Dad, can we pull over?
What's wrong?
Please just pull over.
Bro, you alright?
Okay, there's a gas station.
Damn it.
Son, I got you.
So this episode ended on a pretty serious note. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts because of self-identity and sexuality, please seek help. Organizations like the Trevor Project, the Suicidal Prevention Resource Center, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and the LGBT National Help Center have resources available. Also, seeking assistance via a therapist is always a great option. Remember, folks, suicide isn't the way. Hey folks, and welcome back. So, episode 6. I wrote episode 6 the way that I did because I thought that the show kind of needed a break from all the serious drama. Well, that is until we get to the end of the episode, but we'll put a pin in that and come back to it. So, yeah, if you ever watch Grey's Anatomy, any of the seasons, there's always this big dramatic event, and then you have a filler episode that kind of levels things out. So a lot of times I've noticed that when there's this huge event in Grey's Anatomy where there's a lot of dramatic events happening, there'll be an episode shortly thereafter, whether it be they go on a fishing or camping trip, or they'll go into Derek's trailer just to kind of get a reprieve and just kind of get a break for a while. Now, granted, it is a drama. Grey's Anatomy is, so there is still this dramatic component. However, there's just like a brief moment of levity. And that's what this episode really is for Major and Me, the podcast. It's a brief moment of levity. And so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to continue to explore the relationship between Tristan and his dad, Professor Garrison. And so we get to kind of see a different side of Professor Garrison. He didn't know anything about an Uncle Hamp, and he didn't know that his dad was taking care of anyone. So they decided to do this whole road trip with just the guys. And so I thought it was a great bonding moment. You have to remember, even though Tristan, Jordan, and Professor Garrison have been in the same room before, this is their actual first bonding as father and son's moment that they've had thus far. So it was an important episode to write. And again, it was a little levity here. In the episode, we find out that CJ has actually gone to go live with other relatives. He's away from his dad, which is a great thing for CJ. But it's not the best thing for that kind of young love in terms of CJ and Jordan and their relationship going forward. So Jordan's just trying to get used to what that means. And then you have Tristan, he's still in the midst of his fallout with both Kendrick and Denise. I think usually if he has an issue with Kendrick, he would go to Denise to kind of talk about it. But, since Denise is kind of icing him out too, he's left to talk to with his problems with Jordan, which is funny because, if you have adult problems and you're going to your teenage brother, you would feel kind of silly. And in many ways, especially if you don't really know him that way, you're still getting to know and build a relationship. So in some ways, Tristan feels a little silly going to Jordan about his problems, but he's also thankful that Jordan is there to listen. And so when we get to Uncle Hamp's house, to be honest, so when I said that, Uncle Hamp was my favorite character, well, him and Ben are in close competition there. Uncle Hamp is my favorite character because he's wildly offensive, but doesn't mean to be, in the way that his language is. And, I think we all have at least a relative, one or two or more, that it is offensive with the way words that come out of their mouth. They don't necessarily mean to be, per se, not justifying saying it's okay. But Uncle Hamp, the fact that the first thing out of his mouth is, "Are you the gay?" That is wildly offensive. However, Uncle Hamp kind of does an explanation of himself and saying he didn't mean to come off offensive. He calls Professor Garrison out on what he's done in his past, so I thought that was kind of funny, for me, at least. And so Uncle Hamp, he kind of sends Professor Garrison and Jordan off because he wants some one-on-one time with Tristan. This is his first time meeting his great-nephew, and so they just kind of want some bonding time. So we get in the car and we're going back home. I think that they had a great experience. Tristan was able to really bond with Uncle Hamp and find some information out that not even his father or his brother knew, in terms of the great aunt and, I guess that would be his great aunt and great uncle, and what their, we'll say, sexual fluidity. And I think a lot of the times, we'd be surprised to know what happened back in the day that wasn't necessarily talked about, or passed down in terms of familial history. So I thought this was interesting to know that, Tristan and Jordan are not the first sexually fluid, it's not gay people in the family. And to be honest, they might just be the first openly ones, quote unquote, with that. And so that gets us to the phone call. So up until this point in the car, Tristan has had his phone off, he turns it back on, and he's getting blown up by both Kendrick and Denise. So yes, they are not speaking to Tristan. However, because of the severity of the situation of what the news that they have to deliver, they decide to reach out. And that's when we find out via the voicemails and the phone call back to Denise that Ben has committed suicide. I thought it was, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, why'd you kill off Ben? I like the character Ben. I thought Aaron, who plays Ben, did a great job. I just kind of felt like that was needed for the story that's continually to develop in season 2. And so, I thought what was interesting is that if you recall back to season 1, the reason that Kendrick even transferred into Hamilton is because he had a similar incident of outing on Facebook. And so I thought if I was going to present a similar incident of outing, I think I should present a different outcome. Because not everyone is mentally there enough to be outed. For Ben, at least, he was just feeling just kind of put out on Front Street. A lot of people are treating him differently now that they knew that he at least liked men in some capacity. And it was a lot of stress for him, especially for his family. They weren't, we kind of touch on it in the episode, but they weren't necessarily the most accepting, and he just feels like he's alone. And I think it was important to kind of present that perspective because there are many people who can identify with Ben in that regard. And if you can identify with Ben in that regard, I encourage you to seek counseling. I always say that suicide is a temporary solution a permanent solution, to a temporary problem. So I encourage you to seek help. There are organizations like the Trevor Project They work specifically with people, LGBTQIA people who are under the age of 25, but feel instances of bullying or they're having issues with suicidal thoughts. So I encourage you to reach out to them if counseling is not something that you want to do at this particular time, if you are able to relate in Ben's situation right now. So the episode ends. I know it was supposed to be an episode about levity and be a little lighter on the drama, but it ends on a very dramatic note. And that'll kind of carry us into episode 7. Episode 7 is interesting for the simple fact that, Kendrick and Denise want to be there for Tristan, but are also still mad at Tristan. So, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I'll let you all listen to that next week. But again, thanks for joining me. If you like what you're hearing in terms of this, Tavion Talks with the YouTube, and then more importantly with the podcast Major to Me, make sure you share it, like it, subscribe, review it. If you like it, really like it, make sure you leave a review, especially if you're on Apple and listening to it there. And then if you want to hear a season 3, make sure you donate. But again, appreciate you all.